I had a sleepless night last night. There's just something that I've never experienced with her before. This is something that you got to be careful of when it comes to tortoises. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Nice little crisp day, not too cold. Just gonna get to be about 70 degrees today. But something's going on, and I want to just double check on my gal Darwin, because last night when I was trying to get her into her enclosure, or rather into her shed, she was just acting strange. So I just want to see if she's doing better today. Now, when I say acting strange, here they are, is she didn't want to move. She didn't want to go into her enclosure. But as you can see, she looks like she's getting a little motivated here. There's Socrates. Over there is Nostradamus. And I got some goodies for them, mostly for Darwin, but I got enough food. I got some papaya and some banana that I want to give to our gal Darwin. Because my theory is this. I think she had a little bit of gas, and she wasn't feeling good. So earlier I had given her a banana as a treat, and maybe that upset her stomach. It's possible. But anyhow, she looks to be moving around much better right now today. But this is one of the things that you have to do. You have to always keep an eye on your animals to make sure that they're behaving properly. So the good news is, let's give this one to Socrates, can get a little watermelon, and then what I'm going to do is start feeding Darwin this papaya. Now, papaya is really good for digestive issues when it comes to tortoises, because it's just got a way of, oh, come on, there you go, it's papaya. Yes, there we go, good. Now, this is something that you got to be careful of when it comes to tortoises, because these guys are fermenters and they have a specific diet. Sometimes they can run into what's called a colic or some gas issues, and you want to make sure that you're conscious of that, because if allowed to continue, you have a situation that happened with Lumpy a few months ago, where Lumpy got so dehydrated, so sick, that he wasn't able to eat, or he had stopped eating. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I give this gal something that'll ease her stomach, which papaya does. It has a stomach settling effect for these tortoises, and it also has a lot of liquid, as you can see, as the liquid pours out of her mouth, and it gives her much needed moisture, which is important as well, because when we're feeding these animals a dry diet, okay, with the different chows and grasses and hays and weeds, you have to make sure that they're also getting enough moisture in their bodies. So that's what we're doing right now. Oh, God, I almost bought it at the farm. Come on, get it. Oh, good deal. Hey, Nostradamus wants a little something. Can't leave out Nostradamus. So let me go ahead over here and give Nostradamus something to snack on while all the kids are eating. There you go. Look down. I got to keep on giving our Darwin this papaya. I also have a big piece of watermelon for her as well. Come on, sweetheart. I guess you should have a little bit too. Can't hurt to give them a little papaya. I don't necessarily know that banana's bad every once in a while, but she was totally fine in the morning when I had visitors here. Gave her a banana, and then towards the afternoon, she just didn't seem like herself. And I did hear a large tortoise fart come out of her, so that's why it leads me to believe she had a spot of gas. Oh gosh, I gotta look out for my fingers, don't I? So again, it's something that I'm gonna have to keep monitoring, because when we are keepers of these animals, it's our job to know our animals. And the best way to know the animals is to spend time with them. Reptiles aren't gonna bark. They aren't going to make a lot of noise when they're in pain. They're just going to stop doing their normal routine. And it's those routines that are going to indicate if the animals are healthy. So it's very, very important for you guys to make sure that you pay attention to your animals' movements, whether it be a lizard, crocodile, snake, or even our tortoises right here. You got to make sure that the animals are moving properly, have the appetite that they've always had. They're moving in and out of their temperature gradients. That's a big indicator for tortoises. If you see a tortoise just laying around, not moving, whether it be in the shade or in the heat, you know something's wrong. They're laying in the heat, they're trying to raise their body temperature to fight off some kind of infection. If they're just kind of lethargic in the shade, it's because they're very depressed and they're not feeling well. So both are lack of movement is a definite indicator that something is wrong. These guys here, they wake up in the morning, they come out of their house. They walk into the sun, they'll sunbathe for a little while, as we caught them doing when I started this video. But you notice that when I walked in, they perked up, which they always do, and they walk over to me. Now, the other thing I noticed with Darwin yesterday is she was just taking her back legs and she was kind of scraping the soil together, almost in the egg-laying situation. In other words, in a way that tortoises do when they have been finishing laying eggs. Now, it is possible that she may be practicing. She is definitely of reproductive age, and so it's not unheard of for tortoises that don't have a male to actually lay unfertile eggs. So it's possible that if I look around, I might find an area where maybe she's doing test nests. Maybe she's just going through that phase where she wants to lay eggs, or she knows she needs to practice laying eggs. It's part of the biological process of an organism, and so that's probably a good thing. And she was almost into trance last night. Now, as you know, crocodiles, snakes, lizards, and tortoises will go into like an egg-laying trance. Look at how she eats. She'll just literally shove it all down her throat. They do not chew. They just eat and swallow. Oh, I'm so happy. So this is all good news for me. I was really nervous because obviously anytime something's wrong with an animal, it involves a lot of care and a lot of work to get them back on the straight and narrow, back to health. It also could potentially be a lot of money. So that's why we did a video a few weeks ago about animal husbandry, about keeping animals healthy. It's very important for you to make sure the animals are healthy. So it doesn't cost the animal its health or its life, and doesn't cost you a lot of money. I always prefer to spend my money up front, creating perfect habitats for these guys. And even when you do that, sometimes animals get sick. It is just the way of life. You get sick sometimes, I'm sure. Either if you're a child at home watching, your parents take good care of you, and sometimes you get sick. It just happens. So I do a pretty good job of keeping these animals happy and healthy. And as you can see, Darwin is making me very happy because she is moving around and she's also getting, a lot of moisture in her right now. So I think it was just a little bit of an upset stomach, which can happen. So there you have. I'm going to have to keep monitoring her and making sure that she's okay. But what an amazing tortoise, you know? This is the Galapagos tortoise here. We're looking at the two Galaps. There's Socrates and Darwin. And behind her is my man, my number one guy. That is Nostradamus, the Aldabra tortoise. Oop, little bit of a burp. That's normal. And whenever they pull their heads in, guys, they'll make that kind of noise if they have some liquid in their throats. So that doesn't scare me at all. But it is loud. The bigger the tortoises are, the louder they are when they breathe and burp or do whatever they got to do. So she's going to just sit back and keep on nibbling away at some of this stuff that fell out of her mouth. And what I also like, guys, is you see how they're eating off this rock, off this cement water bowl, I suppose it is. Giant water bowl here. But as they eat off it, you'll notice they're actually going to shave down their beaks. And that's really good. It's like a giant tortoise emery board, which helps file down their beaks naturally as they eat. So again, giving them this watermelon and papaya is really good because it's going to hydrate them. And it's also going to alleviate, with that papaya in particular, alleviate any kind of problems, any kind of, it's just a kind of over-the-counter remedy to kind of help their stomachs. So really excited that she's doing better and moving around. Again, she could have just been in some kind of, there's just something that I've never experienced with her before. Maybe that's what was going on. But the key is that I kept an eye on her, and I'm going to continue to monitor her health to make sure that everything's okay. So there you go, guys. Learn a little bit here from this video. Always watch your animals. Always make sure they're moving around. Know their habits, know their little idiosyncrasies, and that'll help you over the long haul. Hey, there's a fly on there. Get off there, fly. It's not about flies. We're not entomologists. We're budding herpetologists here today. Although, I'm sure some of you like insects. Anyhow, as I was saying, guys, it's all going to help you be a better keeper in the long run and help you help your animals. So there you have it. Darwin's looking good, thank goodness, because I had a sleepless night last night, as I'm sure many of you guys would get nervous if your children or little animals are not doing well. All right, everybody, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys got something out of it. And again, we're going to be updating you on Darwin all the time, just to make sure. We love following these stories along here at the camp and providing you guys with great information. All right, that's it. Got a lot of work to do. We'll see you later. Bye.